Love, exciting and new.
Hello, Hannah Waddingham here. Have you seen the fabulous new Sun Princess? World-class entertainment, exceptional dining, and the greatest pizza ever.
It's a love.
Don't miss our Come Aboard sale with up to 40% off and free room upgrades. Visit princess.com or call your travel advisor to book. Princess Cruises. Terms and restrictions apply. Offer ends 2/28/25. Ships are Bermudan and British Registry.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
You know what's smart? Enjoying a fresh gourmet meal at home that you didn't have to cook. Meet Factor, your loophole in the laws of mealtime. Chef-crafted meals delivered with a tap, ready in just 2 minutes. You know what's even smarter? Treating yourself without cheating your goals. Factor is dietitian approved, chef prepared, and you plated. Pretty smart, huh? Refresh your routine and eat smart with Factor. Learn more at factormeals.com.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey there, Duke fans. DBR Bites episode number 86. I want to be very clear. This is not a full recap. We're going to have one of those for you tomorrow, or depending on when you listen to this, maybe later today. But we just had it's Jason here. Donald and I had to hop on really fast. This is going to be probably one of the shortest episodes we ever do, 8 to 10 minutes. We had to talk about, Donald, one of the wildest, bonkers, insane game against NC State. Probably, other than the 2 early season games, Kentucky and Kansas, the closest game Duke has played all year.
First of all, hi. Second of all,
yeah.
You're going to look on this episode, you're going to see an E next to it because the E stands for, what the fuck was that game? Holy shit. God. I'm sorry that there was a lot in that game. And I know we're going to process tonight and we'll record tomorrow the full thing, but I want to get a couple things out of the way, Jason. I'm not even talking about how bonkers the actual play on the game was. First of all, the fact that there was some stuff that I have not seen in a very long time, if not ever, on a basketball court.
Very, very long time. There were more towels on the basketball court than I've ever seen in one place in my life, and I've been to some saunas.
Jason,
Go ahead.
Okay, so I want to, first of all, we're talking about Common Malawach blowing chunks, for lack of a better word, on the floor, non-contact during the game, right? And of course, online there was a couple of beat writers and beat journalists who were saying that it felt like the team was gassed and maybe it's a result of the guys being sick. And that's possibly true. And it kind of...
Cooper looked really tired in this game. Yeah,
I think everybody did, right? But at the same time, it wasn't the tired that I thought, oh, everybody's sick, until I saw Common Malawach just try to hold it in. And it looked like he tried to signal to the bench, like, yo, call a timeout right now. You know how you're in a car with somebody and they go, yo, stop the car right now. He couldn't even do that before he had a reversal of fortune. You were probably going to use puns for throwing up here. But I want to make it clear. I am not trying to make light of the situation here.
No.
But I will say when that happened and they came back from commercial to see Towel Mountain on the floor, Jason, it reminded me of one of my favorite movies of all time, Goodfellas. When the dude gets shot and they try to put the aprons to try and stop the bleeding. He goes, "Yo, man, what's wrong with you? You wasted 8 fucking aprons on this guy. I don't know what this guy's problem is. Got to toughen this kid up." Like
Oh,
that is what I thought about
well,
until
wait.
go
No,
ahead.
we can't. Yeah. What there's plenty. There's more to come.
Plenty. There's plenty.
I just want to say this. We now know the answer to the eternal question. I mean, I can't even count how many times I have been asked, how many towels does it take to clean up the barf of a South Sudanese giant?
Look,
And the answer is 30.
it was a mountain of talent. And the funny thing is, you know how like the shout out to the managers, because I promise you, they do a ton for this program. This is not in their job description. I don't care what you think about what their job description is. This is not part of that. And the fact that they were just like, just kind of, it felt
We
like
need more. We need more.
no, it just
We need more.
this was the most like these guys are not human during the games, right? These men and women are not human during the games. This is the most human you will ever see the managers, because they were just like, oh gee, just throw some towels on it. We'll see if it cleans itself up, right? We have
Okay.
all done that. We have
Okay.
all done that before.
All right, so here is my question. And for everybody who listens to this before 2 p.m. on Tuesday, if you listen to this before 2 p.m. on Tuesday, send an email to dbrpodcast@gmail.com, and you must answer this question. I don't need like a long explanation or anything. I just want your answer to this question. Will this game forever be known as the man-man vomit game, the Knipple leg pull game, or the Big Pat layup game? Because I will accept any one of those three answers.
Look, Jason, I'm gonna go on a limb here. You just name my play of the game in one of those three things, and I'm not going to tell you which one until tomorrow. But I was.
It's the leg. I've never seen that. I think it's illegal.
I'm
By
not
the way,
going-
that
I'm
leg
not-
pull, I think that's illegal. I think you're not allowed. Like you're not allowed to boost a teammate up, like pick them up.
But he didn't boost him. He didn't boost him. He just held him
grabbed
down.
his leg and the
held him
hysterical
down.
thing was, to me, the hysterical thing about that play was I was watching it and I didn't realize until the replay that Khan had grabbed Tyrese and pulled him back on the court. And I was writing, when we watch these games, you and I have to take notes. And I was writing my notes. I was like, I've never seen someone recover their balance like that before. Like Tyrese Proctor's like from another planet. How did he do that? I was amazed. And now I know the answer. Khan pulled him back on the floor.
I have seen guys like pull their jersey, right? I've seen guys like falling out of bounds and they kind of hold them by the jersey to make sure. I have seen that. I have seen referees kind of go, I don't know what the rule is on that. And they kind of literally throw their hands up and go, sounds like a good play. Okay. But yes, I have not done the leg pull. I will say, Jason, like I said, the reversal of fortune that Malawach happened. He left the game. He did not come back. Hopefully he's okay. That somehow was not the weirdest thing or the worst thing of this game. I will say whoever the Cameron Crazy was who passed out in the stands and had to be pulled out, hopefully that she is okay. That was a scary situation. That happened not a minute later. So again, it just kind of added to this, like, what are we watching here? And it was, again, nothing had to, like, there's a lot of stuff that we could talk about on the court. Tonight is about what happened kind of, ancillary to the game, and that was one of it.
Right. The two of us are here to talk about all this insanity because, again, we're going to do a podcast tomorrow in the afternoon, like we always
doing
do.
several. We're doing several this week.
We're doing right, exactly. Folks don't even
Big
know
week.
this. We're recording 2 tomorrow. It's Carolina week, so
yeah.
But yeah, the stuff that happened. Well, you said off the court.
I said ancillary. Ancillary. Yeah.
Right.
Court and Duke basketball adjacent stuff.
Well, and I mean, to me, and this is kind of getting a little bit into the game, but like the game's just everything about this game is weird. NC State has an out of body experience shooting the ball, and then Duke suddenly just crushes them. We went on like I don't know the exact, I think like a 17-0 run.
17-1 or something like that at one point. Yeah.
I mean, it was 15-0, and then I think we had 2 free throws. So I think it was 7, but regardless, and you feel like, okay, this is like several other games this year. Duke's been down or it's been close and they pull away. And no, then NC State sticks around. And then the final 7 or so minutes includes a torrent a waterfall of vomit, a mountain of towels, one guy grabbing another guy and pulling him in from out of bounds, just like someone passing out. It was the game. Everything about this game was fun. This is one of the most memorable Duke games that you will ever have.
Jason, I was talking to chatting with my homie during the game. You know what this reminded me of? Is just like the weirdness of it. It was that game in 2008 when we had like some environmental night at Cameron Indoor Stadium and everybody wore the green shirts, right? And at you remember that game?
Not only do I remember it, I was at that game. I brought my son to that game.
Now, Jason, who were we playing that night? NC State.
NC State. You're right.
You're played right. NC State that night.
Crazy.
The game that at halftime, everybody in the Cameron Crazies were wearing green shirts to support the environment. At the halftime, they all took their shirts off and threw it on the court because they said, this is bad juju. We stormed back and won that game in the second half. And of course,
Dude,
the rest of the country.
It wasn't just throw them on the court. It wasn't throw them on the court. People went outside and burned them.
No,
fires.
They had, so that was later. During the game, they had actual tubs where they were like, okay, we can't just throw them in the tubs, but their tubs were on the court, and they just started chucking them as if they were chucking them in the trash. And I will say this, I remember that game because, of course, everyone at Duke was like, yo, it ain't crazy if it works. You take the green shirts off, we do well. Don't wear the green shirt skin, baby. All good. Everyone outside was like, Duke hates the environment. I remember that game because I had to deal with that stuff the entire time. This game was similar in the weirdness, especially in the last 5 minutes of the game, of just things that happened that just felt you left this game. We won that game. We are undefeated in the ACC, 10-0 for the first time since 2007, 2008 in the ACC. We're Duke. First of all, shout out to the women. I want to bring them in here.
Big victory over Georgia Tech.
Big victory over Georgia Tech, but also we're the only school that has a top 10 team in men's basketball and women's basketball. Absolutely great. And we held on by the skin of our teeth in the middle of this Big Four tournament week that we're playing, which will culminate on Saturday night. But somehow I end this game and I had to call my dad, which is why we're recording at 11:45 p.m. on the East Coast. I had to call my dad and be like, what did I just watch? Did you watch the same thing? My dad watched the same thing, and I'm sure all of you out there did too.
By the way, the DBR podcast, the DBR podcast at gmail.com inbox is just going bonkers right now. I mean,
I'm not reading it tonight.
We're up to like 30, or it's been 10 minutes, 20
I'm not
minutes.
reading it tonight.
There's so many good ones.
We had some people try to email during the game, and that's when I was like, turn off notifications, because this game was weird enough. The last thing I needed was people emailing during the game to vent about what was going on, because we're sitting here trying to piece this together as well. Also, this game started on ESPN News and ESPN Plus because of TGL. So like, it started weird, it ended weird, it's still weird. And tomorrow when we record the actual thing, maybe we will have calmed down and gotten some answers about what happened. But I mean, like, as we speak, probably the press conference is going on. We haven't listened to that. That's how raw this is.
There's going to be tons of Shire's sound at the press conference is going to be unbelievable. I did want to mention there's one headline I'm going to go ahead and read now. Chris Immershine said, Wolfpack throws up a prayer, but Devil's toughness answers the call. And I said to Chris, if you think you can slip a throw-up reference into a headline without me noticing it after this game, you have lost your ever-loving mind.
We just spent 10 minutes on throw-up. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there it is.
I mean, unbelievable contest. My last word, Donald, before we roll, I think it is significant that Duke won. And no duh, of course, Jason, tell us something we don't know. But I'm going to say this about this Duke team, which is that when they get in these just crazy contests where the opponents are having a day like they don't usually have, which we've had a few times this year. Remember, Notre Dame did this to us. I feel like I haven't really looked back, but I feel like there have been other teams that did this to us. Duke takes the punch and responds and ends up with the W. And that's different than a lot of Duke teams over. I'm not saying Duke consistently loses game, but like, look, we talked about like that Wake Forest game where they came back and took the lead. And I was like, Oh, wow. Usually that's a game Duke loses. I'm telling you the way this game went, usually this is a game Duke loses. I'm sorry. We're talking about the game now. I shouldn't be doing that. My bad.
No, I was gonna say I forgot the other weird thing that happened in this game. If you recall, I don't know if you saw this during the broadcast, if you were watching, but they showed the Blue Devil, and the Blue Devil's headband said UNC warm up in the first half.
What was he thinking?
We talked about we talked about this during the preview, right? We weren't looking ahead. And then at halftime, of course, we were down at halftime for the first time at home all year. They changed the headband to like pack up or something. And we're like, yo, and my friend's like, yo, the last thing I want to see is the pack up in this game. I don't want to see the pack up in this game. I want them to see them down. And so that part was even weird, right? Where we even had to switch up we usually don't have to switch up the headbands, right?
Headband fail. We had a headband fail. There's no question about it. The headband should not be focused on UNC when we have other games in the holster ready to go.
I would have allowed it if we had played at home right after Jalen Blake's beat UNC with his last shot. I would have allowed it then. That's just a very very exception. But yes, we looked ahead and it felt like the words TRAP. We'll talk about that tomorrow quite a bit. Trap game. That's what this was. Somehow, Bear escaped the trap, baby. I don't know how we did it.
Yeah. Wow. So that's going to be it here on this edition of DBR Bites. We told you we'd keep it quick. We just wanted to be like, now we got most of, if not all of
we got all the weird stuff out of the way. We can focus on the basketball.
We got all the man vomit out. Did I almost say that? I almost said that.
I hope he's doing all right. I feel just like it's from a mental psyche, right? Like nobody likes to do that in public. Nobody likes to do that on the basketball court. I hope he's feeling better, and hopefully mentally he just kind of he can hopefully laugh about this a couple days from now.
By the way, it looked like it was lemon lime Gatorade. I think he was. There was
Jason,
a lot.
I didn't investigate it that much. I didn't investigate that much.
Or Powerade. I'm not sure who has the endorsement deal with
the Gatorade is on the towels. That's all I saw.
Yeah.
Towel Mountain.
Towel Mountain. That's I should put that. Is it the Towel Mountain game?
Hey.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
We're done. That's Donald. I'm Jason. That's Towel Mountain. Here's the Duke band to play us out and take us home. We will see you in about 12 hours or so for the recap of the NC State game.
Get some sleep.